heroism, education about heroism. The second thing that we can know, the third thing, the first thing is about to be the right Christians. The second, to be educated about heroism, and we have an example. The third thing is to know the importance and value of peace. How to combat for peace. You know, sometimes everybody, every country want and say about peace. And we cannot combat for peace if we sit like that and we see the injustice and we keep silence. If we keep silence, we are not the peacemakers. If we see the injustice and we look like that, and like there is no nothing that has happened, it is a problem. If there is injustice, we can stand up and say, this is injustice. If we keep silence, genocide can return back. If we see injustice and we keep silence, know that is a problem.
Bavandimwe, uyu munsi dufite umwanya muto w'inyigisho, maze munyemerere dutege amatwi vuba kugira ngo twere gutinda, kuko murabizi ko dufite ibiganiro nyuma ya misa. Turagira vuba rero cyane, maze ntabwo ndatinda cyane, ndavuga mu cyongereza kuko nkuko mubizi hano ni community ihuriweho n'abanyamahanga benshi. Wenda ndashiramo akanyarwanda gakeya kugira ngo twese wenda n'abaturutse hanze baje kudusura tujyane mu nyigisho. Uyu munsi rero nshaka kubereka ibintu bigera muri 5 dushobora kugenderaho nk'abakristo kugira ngo tumenye ko turi kurwanya genocide, kuko murabizi ko uyu munsi byahuriranye umunsi nk'abanyarwanda twibukaho abacu bazize genocide yakorewe abatutsi muri 1994. Maze rero nituva mu misa, turangije misa turahita tujya mu biganiro. Ikintu tugiye kwiganaho ni ibyo bintu ko ari 5, kuko kenshi turavuga ngo never again, ndetse abenshi tukajya no muri groupe never again. Ariko mu mateka hagiye habaho abantu bagiye bavuga never again kenshi bikavugwa, ariko birababaza natwe wacu mu Rwanda ko genocide yabaye, kandi imbere yaho byaravuzwe ngo never again, never again. Buriya murabizi nko muri ndibuze kubigarukaho, Bosnia genocide yarabaye, Cambodia genocide yarabaye, genocide y'Abayahudi yarabaye, maze natwe wacu irahagera. Uyu munsi rero nshaka kugira dutinde kuri ibyo bintu 5. Yego. Thank you very much. Today I want to focus on the 5 remedies of genocide. As we like to say never again. As I have said, some of us who have been in that group never again, and it's very nice to understand and to remember and to live in this group like that. But as I have said, it is a problem. As you know, being Christian as we are, we must give a difference between a tongue and an action. Some of the persons in this world like to use a tongue, like to talk, like to say the things without put in action. And for us Christians, we must put in action what we accept, what we believe. And if we say, as we have said the last Sunday, as we are the Christian, we have very well chosen for being Christians. And there, I introduce my teaching today. As I have said, miraculously, the readings of today are going to help us to understand this topic. The first reading was the Act of Apostles, chapter 4, verse 32 to 35. And the second reading was in the first letter of John 5, verse 5. The chapter 5, verse 1 to 6. And the Gospel was John chapter 20, verse 19 to 31. And this reading, as I have said, are going to help us to answer this topic, 5 remedies of genocide. As we say, never again. As you know, genocide, as definition, is intentional destruction of people in whole or in party. That is a definition. And that the worst thing has happened in our country. The stranger person don't know, but now is a time of knowing. As you know, also genocide of the Jews in 1941 until 1945, it is Holocaust, it is a catastrophe. Also has been in Cambodia in 1975 and until 1979. Also in an example, Bosnia in 1992 until 1995. It is a problem. As I have said, I want to focus on 10 remedies given by the readings of today. The first thing that I can quote is to be Christians. To be Christians. The last time I have told you that being Christians is a good choice. It's a good choice. And because those who are Christians, in other words, they have said, we will proclaim, we will profess a love of God everywhere that we are, every place that we are, every society. And in the first reading, we have seen about the first community, the life of a first community. And the readings tell us they are characterized by a love of God. At the end of this reading, they tell us there is no poor among them. There is no poor among them. Why? Because even Jesus tells us we have always the poor, but because some of rich who are there, they think some of the person who have the good life, they think on the poor, they think on the casualty, they think to those who have the problems. And there, this reading tells us there is no poor among them. Do you understand? Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Another thing that I can say, the second thing, it is to be educated about the heroism. Here, I want to notice an example in the history of Rwanda after genocide. I think 3 years after genocide, It is the witness about the youth, the children of secondary school at Nyange School in 1997, where they asked them to make a difference, to make group with difference about ethnicism, and they refused. As the children, they refused. Why? Because they have understood about they are one person. There is no difference. For us, we have the same blood, the red blood of everyone. We are created in the image of God. And I think there's children, there's heroes, youth heroes, children heroes. It is can teach us about the life, the heroism life. And there I can start the second thing. No, the third thing. On the third thing, that third thing has 3 elements in order to combine them until we arrive on 5 things that we study today. Brothers and sisters, this time that we commemorate on 30th time for our brothers and sisters victims of genocide 1994. It is a time to study about history, our history as Rwandans, but also history of world, and we can repeat never again with knowing what we say. Yes, we have said heroism. The second thing that we can know, the third thing, the first thing is about to be the right Christians. The second, to be educated about heroism, and we have an example. The third thing is to know the importance and value of peace. How to combat for peace. You know, sometimes everybody, every country want and say about peace. And we cannot combat for peace if we sit like that and we see the injustice and we keep silence. If we keep silence, we are not the peacemakers. If we see the injustice and we look like that, and like there is no nothing that has happened, it is a problem. If there is injustice, we can stand up and say, this is injustice. If we keep silence, genocide can return back. If we see injustice and we keep silence, know that is a problem. Here I want to give at least 3 things about that, how to seek the peace. Their gospel has told about peace. In gospel, Jesus has said double time, receive peace, and my peace is not like world give a peace. Why? Because Jesus, if says about peace, is not to not have a war, a conflict. Jesus go in deep about inside of our hearts, no stress, not a love in our hearts, one another. It is a right peace, and we must be the peacemakers where we are. And there we can notice that if we don't have a dialogue, we cannot say we have
a peace. Dialogue is necessary in our life. If you live together in a ghetto as 2 persons or 3 persons and you don't have a dialogue, you don't have a peace. If in your house, perhaps you want 10 persons and you don't have a dialogue anytime, you don't have peace. Because sometimes you have a house which is no clear, which there is no property in our house. Because sometimes this must work in front of his door, and another also say about this, and you see in our house there is no property because why? Because we don't have that dialogue. And imagine in a prefecture, in our country, in every country, if there is no dialogue in a life of persons, they cannot say we have a peace. Dialogue is very, very necessary. You know, also in the couples, when you finish to get your fiancé, to get married as 2 persons, and sometimes if we seek our fiancé, there is perhaps a true love. And after honeymoon, if you don't have a dialogue 3, there is destruction of family. Dialogue is necessary. Sometimes they say sex is a very important thing in a marriage. No, they lie. Sex is not the first thing in marriage life. The first thing in marriage life is dialogue. And this word lie about that thing. A dialogue is very, very necessary. Koko ibitsina benshi barabigira ariko ingo zikanga zigasenyuka. And that is a first cell about our life. A first group is the family. And if we want the peace of family, also we want a peace of country. Dialogue, and we study that dialogue in a family. Dialogue is necessary. A second thing is to avoid, but this is general, is not anything alone. Avoid the selfishness, egoism. That is general. If we are Christians, if we educated on about the heroism, that thing is necessary to avoid. Selfishness, ubwikunde. That is a problem. Iki ni rusange, ntabwo nkivuga nk'ikintu ukwacyo cyagombye kuba nk'icya gatandatu, because it is a disease. Selfishness. Nibyo navuze, abasangiye ubusa bitana ibisambo. Kubera ki buri wese ararwanira ibye. When and how we will speak about the general thing, because at the ends of our life, we know is necessary to combat for justice, for peace. The fourth thing that I can say here is to avoid a corruption. To avoid the corruption. There, if I say corruption, I say also nepotism, regionalism. These are the bad thing about the social life in every society. And it is a challenge of social life. Discrimination. Okay, to avoid. If we are here in this campus and every day you dialogue with the person of your region, of your country, of your ethnic, it is a problem. Know that you are not a Christian. You are not a hero. You are not a right person. Because, by the way, we are here, all we are created in the image of God. We must know that love. This, I meet with someone, try to greet him or her, because he is created in the image of God. Have that, try to have that pity about is a person. Have a love for her or for him. The last thing that I can say here is to clarify of all system of governance in every organ of structure in leadership, to clarify everything. Gushira hagaragara nta bwira ubugomba kuba mu buyobozi, to report, to give the report. Niba dukoze ibizamini nibijya hagaragara uwa mbere n'uyu dore impamvu yabaye uwa mbere. I say this because you are the future leaders. Ntimugakora ibintu mubwiru, mushyire ahagaragara, bityo hazavaho urwikekwe. That problem that we have about ethnicism, about the egoism, about put there, clarify the thing, to give the report, to give the we have technology is very simple to clarify, to show for every person. This behold the report. There is no corruption. Kuki bavuga ngo uzabura umukozi ufite company uyobora batangira kuvuga ngo yabereye uriya kubera ko ari uwo mu bwoko bwe. No, clarify the thing there. Shira hagaragara babibone. You are the future leaders. Try to arrive there. I say this because it is a problem. We must arrive there in order to combat against that genocide. In our country, it is a problem. Has been that problem. No, I have said not only in our country. I have said about the Bosnia, I have said about Cambodia, I have said about the Jewish genocide, and that catastrophe in our country. It is a problem. But don't have fear. Every problem, it is also a positive change if we have that heart of change of things. Now we are the witness about that problem, about genocide. We can go everywhere to teach about the bad of genocide. If we have that conscience about it is a problem, and we can say never again in our country, and in every country we can repeat never again about genocide. But we will say this if we have that heart of lead against that genocide. And today it is enough to summarize and to finish about there. And I think for Thursday 5, I think if we try to think where we are and to repeat, I think in the future time, especially in our country and in other countries, there is no genocide because we have an example as our country, and we have the persons and the youth who can stand and say, I have chosen in my life, I will teach peace where I am, where I will be. I must teach peace. And not only peace, but the peace of God, peace of Jesus, because we are the Christians. Brothers and sisters, it is a time to be the witnesses in our world, to choose never again. The Lord be with you.